give them up.
I didn't make you do anything you didn't want to do.
We'll deal with him later.
Uncle, why am I not in your will?
You don't deserve to be in my will, nor do you deserve to be in here. Now get lost.
Me? Pornographic star? I'm an actress. What do you think you're doing?
It's all the assets you've got, baby. Take it or leave it.
It's yours. Don't deny it.
How do you know it's mine? You've been on the block 1,000 times or more.
How could you do something like that? What do you think I am?
You were drunk, I was drunk. You wanted just as much as I did.
You better watch your back.
I'm a respected businessman. I don't deserve to be treated like this.
You'll be treated the any way I treat you.
Oh, you'll be sorry.
We need to talk about the manuscripts.
We've got nothing to talk about.
Listen, old man, this is a one-time thing. Never again.
Oh, there's another time.
What's this sharp thing, Daddy?
What are you doing in here? I told you never to be in my office.
Huh?
Why won't you accept me? I'm carrying your goddamn grandchild!
There's no room to accept you in here.
You make me sick.
I'm a doctor. I know what I'm doing.
You wouldn't even be here if I didn't get you where you are today.
Why didn't you tell me I was your son?
I didn't think it was right for you to know.
I'm sick of you treating me like a slave. Yeah. Why are you taking all my drugs?
What are you guys on? We're gonna screw everything up. We're falling to the plan. We're falling with it now.
I was brought up in this house to solve a murder, a typical old whodunit. I wasn't here to meet and greet and fancy dance people. In fact, I'm quite happy with my plain Jane life, being alone with my pets. But that's getting off topic. I guess I should tell you who I am and why I'm here. I'm Kathy Kern, and I was brought up in this house to solve the murder. I've been a detective for 7 years. I moved up quite quickly in the force, I suppose because I have a knack for finding the truth and solving the unsolvable, which this case seems to be. I was brought up the house to solve a murder. I was met by the maid Shirley Brown.
Hi, my name's Shirley Brown and I'm the maid here. I've been working here for about 5 years. It's been pretty good. I mean, everyone treats me fine here. The pay is good. And I get vacations practically whenever I want. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, I got back from a trip to the Rockies. It was great. I went with my friend George. I guess he's not really my friend. I don't really know what he is. Anyways, like I said, me and the boss have a pretty good relationship. Everything was fine and we never really argued, well, until last night. I was walking by his office and he called me in. He said he had to talk to me about something. I was quite surprised because I never really go into his office. He sat me down and told me that some people thought I had been rude with them, one of the guests. I was quite offended because I've been working really hard here the past week trying to get ready for the dinner. And I'm always polite with the guests, and I never consider myself to be a rude person. Anyways, I guess I got a little angry and I stormed out. I was down in the kitchen making myself something to eat before bed, and I heard this horrible, horrible scream. I ran upstairs to see what was going on. It was coming from the office. And I went in and I saw him slumped over the desk. It was awful. There was something shoved in his back, I guess like a knife or something. It was the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
Shirley Brown took me to the deceased office, and there he lay, slumped on his desk with a knife in his back and a blood-soaked shirt. Yeah, I know that sounds disgusting. When you're a detective, you see a lot of it. 6 years ago, this child was murdered by a drunk driver. She lay helpless in her seat, but I found the murderer. But he never got what he deserved. But anyway, that's getting off topic. Hovering over the body was the doctor, William R. Crawford. He found to conclude that the deceased was in fact
his personal doctor. He hired me straight out of college as his personal doctor for his such problems as his heart, and often at nights he'd wake up screaming my name and telling me I didn't know what I was doing. I only went to school for 7 years.
Hi, Dr. Crawford.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good. So what brings you by today?
I have a problem.
Yes.
It's a very personal problem, so I'm asking for your discretion as a doctor.
Of course.
The problem is I'm pregnant.
How? Oh.
Did you forget it already?
No. But, I mean, with who? How?
Your client knocked me out.
Oh, I see. And what's the problem?
You see, I can't be tied to a place or a person. I can't have this child. And beside it, the father is dead.
I see. So what would you like to do about it?
I need to get an abortion.
I see. Have you thought about this?
Yes.
Well, I guess there's only one thing we can do. Take care of this.
Next to the doctor was the nurse, and obviously she was young. With the horrified expression on her face, she hadn't been around many dead bodies. Jenny Robinson was her name, I think. Yeah.
My name is Jenny Robertson. I come from Minnesota, where I practice to be an LPN. I've started working with the deceased 3 years ago, and I never really got to know anybody in that place because of my undivided attention to him. I used to have to give the deceased his medication, but he rarely took it, and I don't know where the rest is gone. I might have...
As the nurse, the doctor, and I conversed about how the deceased in fact died, although it was obvious. The morgue came took the body away. I was really opposed to it at first, being that I hadn't examined it myself, but they insisted before the media got a hold of it, so the investigation had to begin. Shirley Brown took me to the housekeeper, Emma Fan. That way, she would have had any key to any room in the house and may have seen someone in the middle of the night.
I'm Emma Fan. I moved here 2.5 years ago. I'm 25 years old. I took the job as a housekeeper. I like the job. It pays well, and the people are real nice. Usually I get along with the deceased real well. But lately, with all the visitors, it's been real busy. And, well, we haven't been getting along lately because of arguing about stuff, but nothing big. Nothing you'd kill anybody for. I could never kill anybody.
Next, I moved on to Alvin Bates, the deceased estate lawyer. He would have known who would have had the most to gain from his death.
You and the estate lawyer of the deceased. I grew up in Greenwich, Connecticut, and went to law school in Boston. The deceased invited me to the mansion about a week ago when he had heard that I'd be in town. So I planned to spend a couple of days there and leave the morning after the dinner. Why did I kill him? I didn't. But the deceased was very hateful, manipulative, and very, very rich. I'm surprised no one killed him earlier. Who do I suspect? I hate to point fingers, but his will does state that his son will inherit the millions. But I'm almost positive Martin didn't do it.
So obviously next I went to Martin Little. That was his adopted son. He was mentally challenged, or at least a little slow.
My name is Martin Little. I was adopted when I was 8. I live here with my dad and Shirley, the maid, and Emma, the house lady, and Jenny, Daddy's nurse, and me too. My favorite food is a ham and cheese sandwich. To make it, you take 2 pieces of bread, and you need a slice of ham and a single slice of cheese. You take 1 slice of bread, and you put the ham on top of it, and then you put the cheese on top of it, and then you put the last piece of bread on top of it, and then you put the... No, wait. You gotta put the mayonnaise on the bread first. I have a squeeze bottle full of mayonnaise because I'm not allowed to use knives. Because it will happen when I was 8. I was playing with a cat, and he scratched me, and I scratched it back. I never saw the cat again.
You guys, I've been thinking, and I want out. As soon as he gets here, I'm feeling I want out. I'm sick of all this manipulation.
Yeah, this game is really messing with people's heads. We have to stop it, but we still can.
Wait, you guys. Think of the money that we're getting out of this. We've been promised a lot of money.
I don't care about the promises anymore. Faking a death for your own amusement is sickening.
Yeah, and what if we get caught? That detective's pretty smart. I think she's catching on.
What's the matter with you? Think of the money. I'm relying on this money. I need it.
Okay, ladies, my plan is in full effect. Don't lose hope now, give an experience of a lifetime.
I want out!
What do you mean you want out? You can't do this to me. I'm in the middle of something huge. Ha 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 ha!
What if we get caught?
By that dumb blonde, she can sob her way out of a wet paper bag. Are you high? What did I tell you about smoking drugs? None of that till this is over.
It's 1 o'clock. It's time for your afternoon vacation.
I know you guys been wondering what we're gonna receive, and now I'm gonna tell you.
I don't care what we receive, you deceiving son of a bitch.
Don't talk to me like that. I'm a man of high class and praise. You'll do as I say, or you'll be sorry.
Okay, I guess we have to go along with the plan.
Fine, guess we have no choice.
The deceased also had a greedy niece named Juliana.
My name is Juliana Marie Halderson. I was born on May 6, 1971. I have a mom and dad, and my sister was born on August 24th, 1972, and a brother who was born on December 25th, 1974. We moved to Winnipeg, Manitoba in 1987, and when we came to Winnipeg, I went to the University of Manitoba to find a husband. My reason for being...
Is Daddy ever coming back? I miss him.
You'll get your money all in good time. You have to be strong. You're a man now. You're 28 years old. Act your age.
I wish the maid would get here soon. I like her. She's cute and nice.
Go play with something.
Play what?
With anything!
Why does everything have to change? I just want Daddy back.
The deceased didn't have too much family, so I moved under the guest, and believe me, there was a variety of guests. First, I started off with the Russian actress, Anastasia Maklova, and if you ask me, her accent was a little off.
It was 7 years ago when I met the deceased. It was in my home country, in Russia. I was young and beautiful as always. Every man admired me. They bring me flowers, they scream my name, they offer me money.
very good money. The deceased admired me too. He said he admired my talents. He wanted me to come to Canada to film his new, как называется, main character, that's right. He said I was going to be a main character. He said it was going to be, как называется, a hit. So I say I take some of my time and come to Canada. I stayed at his mansion. The deceased was very kind to me as always. The night before the deceased passed away, we had what you call a business talk. He called me up to his room and he showed me the script, and I looked at it and I said, I was very mad. I said, it is not a hit, it is pornography. I'm an actress, I'm not a slut. I ripped the papers and I threw it in his face. I screamed and I was very mad. I went back to my room and I started back to Russia. The next thing I heard was, he's dead, he's dead. Everyone screamed, he's dead. I was very upset at the deceased, but I did not kill the poor man.
There's also a forensic scientist from New York. His name is Roger Aston. I'm not exactly sure why he came up.
Well, my name is Roger Aston. Basically, the only reason why I was here was to see if the deceased was my father. Because I did a little bit of research on the stuff that I found about him, and I was looking towards that he was, but I never got a chance to talk to him because he was dead.
What's on your mind?
It's just these letters. I'm still getting them after 10 years.
Letters. Letters are good. You must appreciate these letters a lot. Where are they from? Do you know?
I don't know. She's crazy, psycho. I don't understand. Love? Where's this psycho's love coming from?
All these years you haven't figured it out? Do you remember your love back in the college? And do you remember her?
I don't understand.
You're so young and handsome. You're in your first year. I was in my last. We had the times of our lives. You don't remember?
No.
It's me, Anne. Do you see? All these years I've tried to win you over. It was me. It was me, Ruth, and it was me, Doris. And so far, my best creation, Anastasia. Who do you love the most? Is it the young little nurse, Caroline? I could be anything for you. I love you. Come, please. Don't take me now. Please don't do this to me. Please take me now. Please don't. No.
Next, I moved on to the worldly traveler by the name of Johanna Berlucci, who seemed a little hard.
Hi, my name is Johanna Berlucci, and I was born in Denmark in October 23rd, 1969. My mother was born in Holland, and her name was Sonia. My dad was a handsome Italian man, and his name is Marcello. My parents first met in university because my mother was studying in Italy. They married, and after the marriage, my father had to move to Denmark. That's why I was born there. When I was 3 years old, we all moved back to Italy. I attended to University of Geography in Barcelona.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah. I attended to University of Geography in Barcelona. That was when I first met the deceased. Even though he was 66 and I was just 23 years old. We fell in love and we spent 3 wonderful months together, but he had to leave. We kept in touch till I was 28, but then he disappeared.
So next, I moved on to the exotic dancer, T.L. Bird, and one has to wonder how she ever made any...
People know me as T.L. Bird. I'm 27 going on 28, and I live in Vancouver, BC. For work, I'm an exotic dancer at a little place downtown called Sleazy Tees. In my spare time, I used to go with the deceased and we'd help needy children. My connection with the deceased is we used to be lovers on the side. Though we are not lovers anymore, we're still good friends. I know everything about him, and he knows every little detail about me. I know more about him than I do my own mother. I never really knew my parents very well. They'd drop in and out, and then I would never see them for a very long time. Deceased sort of fulfilled that empty space I had in my life. He was a peaceful, kind man, though he would lash out at people in his path. He had a big heart. Everyone loved him, and well, everyone knew him. Even if you just mentioned his name, didn't no matter what age or who they were, they would know him. If someone asked me to describe him, I'd say he was like an angel sent down from heaven to bring peace among us all. I attended a dinner at his house one night. He invited me when we were at the zoo with the wheelchair children. He also suggested that I spend the night since he didn't think I should go home so late. It's just too bad that it's the last time I saw him.
After the stimulating conversation with T.L. Bird, I moved on to the two sisters. Rebecca Bigh, that's B-I-G-H, and her younger sister Elizabeth Bigh, that's B-I-G-H.
My name is Rebecca Bigh, that's B-I-G-H. I live with my sister Elizabeth, where we've lived in Victoria for our whole lives. She's taken care of me for the past 5 years since our parents died. You see, I have lymphonic cancer. It's currently in recession, and I was diagnosed 23 years ago. I need to live in a sterile environment, and she helps me keep that environment. I used to date the deceased when I was in college, but we're more friends than anything, though. He called me about a week ago to invite me up to this dinner, and of course I said yes, and of course Lizzie came along with me. Oh, yes, I did give up a child for adoption, but no, it was not the deceased. We never had a sexual relationship. Me, kill him for money? I would have no need to do that. I've always been extremely well off.
Especially with the money that we've received. We don't really know where it's come from, but they just tell us, our parents just told us that it was from sources. My name is Elizabeth Bigh, Becca's sister. I came here because of Becca's trip to see the guy that she dated at college. I wouldn't have killed the deceased because I didn't know the deceased, so I had no reason to kill the deceased. Let me see. On the night of the murder, I fell asleep early that night and didn't hear any screams or cries or any kind of violence going on. The first I heard of the murder was in the morning, so I wouldn't have done it. But I hope that this murder case is solved soon because Becca and I are a little worried.
Calm down, Lizzie. Everything's all right.
I can't do this anymore. I think we should leave.
If we leave, we'll look suspicious like we have something to hide.
Something to hide? We do have something to hide. And with this detective on our backs, he's sure to figure us out.
Can't quit now. What would we do? How would we survive?
Get a job? Get a paycheck? Receive an hourly rate?
But this is fun!
Fun! You call this fun? You call sleeping with every man in town fun? Do you call pretending that you have cancer fun? Do you call sleeping with every chump just to get their home fun?
Do you want to blow our cover? Do you want everybody to hear you? You know, we really don't have a choice. If you hadn't gotten in trouble all those years ago, we didn't have to live like this.
You know I didn't mean.
You know what? I don't want to talk about it. It's in the past. You know what, Lizzie? We're sisters. We do everything together. But if you want to leave me, then you can leave me.
sisters, I moved on to the opera singer, a little English and a little snobbish. Her name was Lady Fiona Dannon.
Hello, my name is Lady Fiona Dannon. I'm 28 years old and I was born in London, England. Ever since I was just a little girl, I've always wanted to be an opera singer, and my passion for music has always been encouraged by my father, a violinist with the London Philharmonic. My first role in opera came when I landed the title role in Carmen, and that was the most thrilling moment of my life. Anyways, I met the deceased after one of my spectacular performances, in which he was completely smitten with me, which is completely understandable. And he said he was having a dinner party in a month in Canada, and he said I just had to come and perform for him. Well, they offered me £5,000, and him being such a likeable old chap and all, I agreed, and that's why I'm in this little tiny village here. Is that all?
After the opera singer, I introduced the typical couple, the old man, Donald J. Brooks, and his little hussy wife, Florence Wingbrook.
The deceased. The deceased has been what you could call a friend of mine for many years. I've been doing his financial work ever since I met him, and I've spent a lot of my spare time just trying to be friendly. Unfortunately, he never returned the favor. He never even tried to humor me. After all the work I spent with him, he didn't even put me in his will. He also tried to blackmail me, and that's just recently been cleared up. The whole thing much disturbed my wife. When I received an invitation inviting myself and others, old friends of his, to a dinner, I thought he was going to finally try to make up for his rude behavior over these years. But unfortunately, when I saw him yesterday, he was even ruder than he's ever been. You can imagine how shocked I am to come here expecting friendship and now be a suspect in a murder investigation. I find the whole thing tiring and suspicious.
So you want to hear about my life? Well, my name is Florence Wingbrook. I was born on March the 5th, 1978. That would make me 21 years old. My parents' names are Beth and Larry Soms of Pensacola, Florida. My mom is a waitress at the local diner. I also work there, and my dad is a mechanic. Do I have siblings? What are siblings? Oh, brothers and sisters. Yes, I have a sister named Betty, and I have twin brothers named Billy and Bob. I didn't know the deceased very well at all. I did meet him at our wedding, though. 10 months ago, my life changed drastically. I met Donald, who is now my husband, at the beach. And it was pretty much love at first sight. We dated for about 3 months, and then we got married. We were married in, get this, Florence, Italy, beside a brook, because my name is Florence, and my husband's last name is Brooke. Also then for our honeymoon, we went on a tour of Europe, which was okay. And now what I like to do is spend money, relax, go shopping, do stuff like that. I wouldn't have killed the deceased. Then again, yesterday he did invite me to his study, which I thought was kind of odd, and I did go, but I would have never ever killed him.
After talking to the old man and his little hussy, I decided to seek some spiritual advice. I went to Father Abrams, the priest who attended the dinner.
My name is Father Rudolph Abrams. I was born in London at the Strand Theatre during a revival of Brecht's Threepenny Opera. After I grew up, my father and mother and I traveled across the ocean to Maine, where we lived in the home of a steel magnate for a few years. Upon his death, we inherited the house and continued to live there. After graduating from high school, I decided to explore various religions and explore the spiritual side of life. When I was around 35, I decided to become a priest and eventually attained a small parish in Saskatoon, where I wrote a few books. The books didn't go over well with the Vatican, though. They had some slightly controversial topics in them, so they were confiscated, and all the original manuscripts were taken away. They were purchased by the deceased, which is why I came here. I decided that I'd talk to him and see if I could purchase them back. Unfortunately, he didn't really want to talk about that. I'd hoped to talk to him about it again later on tonight, but now I can't.
This case seems to be a real doozy. But remember, nothing is as it seems, and the truth is out there. The truth is out there.
See, you're the one I've been wondering about all my life. My twin.
Yes, it's me.
How did you know where to find me?
Well, I was searching for years and years, and finally I came across some information about some guy that was born in the same town and place I was, so I decided to check it out. And here I am.
I don't even know where to begin. We have so much to catch up on.
You can start why he gave you this great life and left me back there.
What do you mean? I tried to find you. I'm sure of it.
Are you?
Yes. He was always traveling around the world. He was looking for something, or someone, and he never told me who or what.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're here together now.
Oh. Hello, Miss Opera Lady.
Oh, hush, there's no one around here.
It's so easy making those people look like idiots.
They are so very gullible.
Soon enough, the money will all be ours. We'll have everything we've always dreamt about. This act will finally be over.
Yes, and then when this expression of our love comes into the world, we'll be brought up in riches and wealth.
Oh, I love you so much, and I'm so happy to our time together has finally come. I can't wait till the charade is over, and we'll have more money coming out of our asses than we've ever dreamt about. Thanks to
Daddy.
And then we can go back to Europe and quit this dreadful place, and I'll continue with my singing career, and then...
What?
My opera career. I can't quit now.
No, there will be no more singing. Our children will need their mother to attend to them.
Children? As in more than one?
Look, we'll discuss the details later, right?
We have to stop this, guys.
I know, and fast.
Shut up. What are you ladies talking about?
You really want to know?
Well, yeah.
Your game's over.
What do you mean it's over? It's not over until I say it's over. I swear you ladies have the brains of a monkey. Do you really think I'm going to blow my cover now?
That's your problem.
Father, can I talk to you?
Certainly, my child.
I need your help. I don't know who did this murder.
Do you have any idea at all?
Well, it wasn't Martin Little. I mean, to kill your own father, your own flesh and blood, he couldn't have dealt with the pain.
It sounds like it struck a chord.
And it wouldn't even been the niece, Julianne, because again, to kill your own family.
You're avoiding me, Buster.
Well, of course it would strike a nerve. It would with anyone. I mean, the thought of killing your own family, of a family member dying, your flesh and blood, it would strike a nerve with anyone.
But it sounds like it struck a very personal nerve with you.
What do you mean?
You tell me.
I haven't talked about this. It happened 6 years ago. I was driving home with my daughter Madison, and this drunk driver came and he swerved off the road and on again, and then we hit, and I woke up and the paramedics were telling me that everything was going to be okay, but it wasn't. Madison's dead. The bastard killed my daughter.
It sounds like a situation in life where you should learn to forgive, not forget.
Forgive? How can I forgive that bastard when he killed Madison? All I want is my daughter back, and she's dead, and I can't have that.
As impossible as it sounds, you must try.
This murder, it's kind of giving me closure.
Have you, how can I say this? Have you sinned, my child?
What do you mean?
Did you kill him?
No, I would never kill him. I mean, I wouldn't kill anyone, not even him. I mean, the thought crossed my mind, but no, I couldn't do it.
I believe you, but we must find out who did.
Good evening, Alvin. Sorry I'm late. This investigation has everyone going crazy.
Yes, that detective has everyone on their toes. But that's not why I called you here, Donald.
Really? And why?
Let's cut to the chase. I know about the little scam you've been pulling on the old man. You've been stealing money from him for 8 years now.
How'd you find out about that?
Oh, come on, Donald. You didn't cover your tracks very well. I'm the one that told the old man about the embezzling. I also know about the proposal he made to you. Your wife for 24 hours, I believe. You think just because the old man died, you get off free?
What do you want to keep your mouth shut?
I want the same thing my ex-client wanted. Your wife.
My wife?
Your wife for 24 hours, or you can go to jail. You have a choice. I suggest you make one and fast.
Fine. Just this once, though, or I swear I'll kill you. What are you doing? Do you want me to go to jail? Do you want to go to jail too? Do you want to lose everything?
Why? Why, Donald? Why would you do something like this?
Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Because I've been embezzling his money. And if you don't sleep with him, I'm going to prison.
But what about us, Donald? What about our love? What about us?
Us? There is no us. There never was. All you wanted was my money. Money for this, money for that. You can't even do me this small favor?
I can't believe that you would do something like this to me, Donald. Carl would never do something like this. If you don't love me, at least have some respect for me.
Respect? I'll show you respect.
Come in.
So,
Why don't you sit down, make yourself comfortable?
thanks. So you wanted to talk to me?
Yes. I heard you were upset.
Donald is making me feel so used. What does he think I am? A whore.
Calm down. Donald is a very confused man. He isn't someone to be worrying about.
But Donald is my husband, Alvin.
Why don't you have some champagne? A few glasses will help you relax. Don't worry. I'll talk to Donald and we'll straighten something out.
Thank you, Alvin. You're so good to me.
Ah, yes. I will talk to you later.
That's what I want.
This is what you want, right, Alvin?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for coming, but someone in this room I have taken notes of this. First off, the niece. A greedy little girl. Was she just after the money? She lived in the house, but she didn't commit it. Why? Because she was, in fact, sleeping in a room when the murder happened.
I know. I didn't do it.
And you people are just incestual. The simple son. You tried to fool us with that act, didn't you? But it's not an act. That act doesn't wash up anymore. You could have killed your father, but you didn't. Because at the time, you had a sweet family reunion with your brother, Roger.
Congratulations, detective.
Yes, it's true, but I know who did it. The stalker, Anastasia.
True, she didn't do it. None of her personalities did. She's just a freak.
Then who did it?
We're an abortion on Johanna, who's having the deceased baby.
Oh my God.
We're guilty!
Relax. Relax.
Oh, yes, you do have something to confess, but it's not murder. You use and abuse men for money. Also, Rebecca, did you know that your sons are in the room? Rebecca, did you know that your 2 sons are in the room?
Mom?
Son?
Mommy?
Sonny boy?
The butler never does it as well as the housekeeper, the maid, or the nurse. They were busy doing something else.
They weren't doing anything. What?
That finally leads me to the menage a trois. Mrs. Brooks didn't murder him because an hour before the murder, you were sleeping with the deceased.
You told me you didn't sleep with him.
But I sleep with all the men.
And the 2 men, who were really trying hard to convince us that they were straight, were having an affair, because the surveillance cameras never lie. They're gay.
I'm glad it's out.
That's all. Two for the price of one.
And the priest didn't do it because he was passed down some cheap California screech. The drinking problem finally comes to the surface.
Okay.
That only leaves me with one solution. There was no murder.
You're pretty smart there, Blondie. If it wasn't for you, I would have gotten away with it all. Why I did it? Boredom. Boredom! And I had those three to help. A knife in the back? Easy. Dressing up as an exotic dancer? Easy.
You bastard.
You all fell for it, suckers!
Bastard.
That ought to teach you.
He's never gonna use me again.
I hate you. You deserved it, asshole.
I can't believe you.
That'll teach you a lesson. Me a heart and hour of!
I wish you died a slow and painful death.
Finally, you're dead. Now you know what real art is about.
Go to hell, bastard.
You deserve everything you got, you bloody bastard.
My drugs, you son of a bitch.
What goes around comes around.
I thought you loved me.
Go to hell, you bastard.
I'm sorry to see he's gone.